Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. For today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be looking at one indicator with a very long name, and this is one day rate of change of triple smooth EMA. EMA stands for exponential moving average. If you have been continuing with this series, we had seen how to use the EMA, the concept of EMA and its possible uses, the customization options, and later on we also saw the use of triple exponential moving average, the tricks. And now we have the third version, you can say the third derivative of the indicator, and the name is one day rate of change of triple smooth EMA. And from the name you can make it out that this is a indicator which is going to look at the EMA data, the triple EMA data, and then consider its change over the given period of time, and accordingly we will get the idea of the strength of the trend, whether it is strongly bullish, strongly bearish, or simply it is going nowhere. In that kind of scenario we can simply call it as sideways. So we will have the various uses, the possibilities with this indicator, and we will see how we can take advantage of this indicator, or we can design the system using this indicator to take advantage of price dynamics, the evolving situation in any type of market. So here you will find this indicator listed amongst the momentum indicators, or else you can simply do a quick search and you will get it there. Just to let you know, it is included amongst these momentum indicators, the one day rate of change of triple smooth EMA. After that, if you don't want to follow that much lengthy routine, all you have to do is simply type in tricks, and here it is, one day rate of change of triple smooth EMA. All right. And as the name suggests, it is quite smooth here. You can see that even though the price fluctuations has been there for Euro USD, we haven't really seen this output value of this indicator fluctuating much. Rather, it is quite smooth and unidirectional. Unless there is significant price change, we are not observing any kind of directional change. So this kind of indicator works well when the trend is strong, when the underlying instrument is either strongly bullish or strongly bearish, so it will keep moving in a similar direction. But with that, there is also a possibility that until there is significant price reversal from the recent prices, we won't be getting any signals of the trend change, and in that kind of scenario it will become a bit difficult, as there is going to be significant lag between the price moves, price action data, and the changes being observed in these indicators output parameters. So that is one thing we have to bear with. We have to keep in mind that the lag for this indicator is going to be significant, but the added benefit is that we will have the reliability of the trend lot more. And one more thing you can do is simply consider the rate of change of the tricks itself, as the tricks tries to measure the rate of change of triple smooth EMA. You can look at the rate of change of the tricks output, and that is also going to give you a very good idea of how strong the trend is. If it is rising, and if it is rising with a speed which is more than the prior rise, then you can say that the price rise is strong and it might continue for some more time. So in that kind of scenario, you can go for the trade, and whenever it starts to stabilize and maybe to some extent even reverse the course after having seen these prior moves, we can then go for profit booking. If not straight away, go for the initiation of the trade in different direction, opposite direction. So that kind of system can also be adopted here. And now if we have to look for the plain simple reading of this output value, then zero is a important marker. We look at zero as a critical marker. Anything below zero is considered to be bearish, and as long as we have the output above zero, then that is indicative of the bullishness, the stance being on the buyer side. But with that, we can also take in account these directional changes, the directional changes of this output value. If we have the output value above 0, but if the speed of this rise now has stabilized and it is starting to decline, even though it is in positive territory, we can go for profit booking if not for the initiation of the new short sale trades. And as and when we have this dip on the negative side, as and when this decline breaches the 0 mark, then we can go for initiation of the short sale trades. As and when the opportune time comes after some sort of consolidation, we can go for new trades in opposite direction also. So that's how we can take this output value into account. You can go for the uses in multiple ways. As I said, one way is to simply look at the rate of change of the tricks. Another is to see its absolute value, whether it is above 0 or below 0. Another way is to look at its absolute value change, if it is declining or if it is on the rise in same trajectory. So there are these ways, and of course you can always come up with new ways to figure out the directional basis for the underlying instrument, and in that scenario you can use this indicator for designing a trading system which you feel is likely to have higher probability of making money than losing money. So now, reverting back to its parameters, we will see what are the editing options given to us. So we have this input price mechanism which we can vary. We can opt for various types of input parameters. We get these options: close price, open price, high price, low price, median price, typical price, weighted close price. All these 7 options are there. So if you try one by one, you will observe that there is going to be a slight change in the output value of the indicator. So here, please pay attention to this line drawn on the lower side of the chart. As I am varying this applied price, we are observing the graph, the chart for the output value shifting slightly. Of course, the directional basis is going to be more or less similar. The direction is going to be similar, but depending on this applied price, we will have slight fluctuations. All right. Now coming to the calculation period, if you want the trend detection to be more reliable, but with that comes the possibility of lag also. If you want the trend detection to be more reliable, then you better opt for a higher time frame value for the calculation purpose. But if you want to make it more responsive, then in that kind of scenario you can shorten the calculation period. So here, as you can notice, we have 14 hours as the defined calculation period. So we are observing this decline and the resultant change in the stance of this output value of the tricks. Here it is dipping below 0 quite early, and when we were looking at tricks output based on 30 being the calculation period, in that scenario the change of the bullish to bearish was happening quite late. Just now it was dipping below 0. So that is one thing. Depending on how strong the price action has been in recent hours or recent calculation period, that is going to be reflected more when we are using lower time frame for the calculation. When we use higher time frame for the calculation, the weight is going to be distributed over the whole of the calculation period, so recent price moves are not going to cast that an impact. So that is one thing. But with that comes the responsiveness. So with lower time frame, you have the lag, which is not going to be much. As the price moves strongly in any direction, the indicator's output will be reflecting that, it will be accompanying the price move. But when we have larger time frame, then only significant price reversal and sustaining of those moves is going to indicate or is going to cause the indicator to also reflect the price reversal. So this is the trade-off between the responsiveness and the lag. So that is one thing which we all have to deal with when we use moving average based indicators. Now let me again go back to this time period and open price input parameter changes. Let us try out some another version. You can even go for very short calculation periods. But one thing you can notice that this smoothing factor is still there. Even though we are using 7 as the calculation period, still the chart looks quite smooth, and it is responsiveness is there. The response is quite good. So even with the lower time frame, I think the stability factor is still there. Now let us increase it to say include 2 days worth of data, 48. So here we have it. Now in this case, we are still to get the confirmation that directional basis is changing from bullish to bearish. It is still in the positive territory. So it is like take your profits if you were long earlier, but don't short it yet. So that's the takeaway when we are looking at this chart with 48 being the calculation period. Now I will restore it back to default 30. Let us try out what are the possible combinations with these trend up and trend down color combinations. So you can brighten it a bit, and even you can go for two different color combinations. So this is light blue and this yellowish. Styling can also be changed. If you don't really like a plain simple straight line, then you can change it. Width can also be played around. Transparency factor can also be changed. So you get these all the options. If you want these to look less prominent on the chart, and at the same time indicative of direction, so here you can go for these kind of combinations. All right, now levels, we don't really have any level, but if you want to make it simple for you to understand the changes in the trajectory of the indicator, you can go for a factor like 0.00. So here you can carry out these kind of changes. All right, so that makes it easier for you to spot the changes in the direction of the underlying instrument. All right, now if you want to remove it, you can remove it. If you want to continue with it, then you can continue. You can go for different types of color combinations also. So all these options are available on the chart. All right, now let us consider the advanced editing options. If you want the output value of these indicator to remain constant throughout the current candle period, in that scenario you have to opt in for this option, recalculate on new candle only, else it will keep varying as per the current applied price. If you are using current closing price, then it is going to keep varying throughout the current candle period. So one thing you can do with this option is get a stable output parameter, stable output for the given candle period. If you want the calculation period to be highlighted, then you have to opt in. You can further customize the calculation. You can use the instrument from the chart. So whatever is the instrument on the chart, this indicator will be plotted for that instrument. Now if I change it to AUD you will have the plotting of the tricks indicator as per the AUD pricing data. It is taking some time. All right, let us wait for a few more seconds. So here we have it. So we had this sharp rise, and then as the price started to go sideways, and then eventually took a negative dive, we had this output value dipping below zero. Now again I am going to restore it back to Euro USD. Candle period can also be opted from the chart, or you can specify it. So even if the chart's candle period is hourly, if you want the calculation to be done on a different candle period, it will be done according to your wishes, according to your settings. So here the calculation is now as per 15 minutes being the defined candle period for each of the candle. Now I am again going to restore it back to use from the chart. Spread side is not going to cost that much of an impact. Generally, the direction is going to be the same, only slight difference will be there. If you want the indicator to be available on all the periods whenever you change the charts candle period, then you have to opt in, as you have to specify on which time frame the indicator should appear, and only on those time frame we will have the plotting of these indicators. So here on 15 minutes, or for that matter anything, any other candle period apart from 5 minutes and hourly, won't have the plotting for these indicator, the tricks. So here daily time frame, we won't be having the tricks indicator plotted, as you can see. But if I now change it to say 5 minutes, we will have tricks back. Okay, base period, let us see if any change is going to be observed when we vary the base period. For this indicator also, base period is not really an factor. So guys, that's it from my side for today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, where we saw the concept, the uses, the customization options of the indicator, one-day rate of change of triple smooth EMA, which is shortened as FIX. I hope you liked the presentation, and if you have any idea or any query to share, you can write it back to me in the feedback section. And for further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there too. For trying out this newly released trading platform, I have included the link in the bio. So give it a try and let us know how it works out for you. Thank you all for joining in. I will be back tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Monday, with a new indicator, new explanation, new possible uses. Do come back. Goodbye.